Why do some schools make perfect sense and others don't? Let's talk about rules that make you go,
Because silence is overrated. Only black band for a watch is allowed.
And like you're going to keep playing with it, and the teacher is like going to complain to your parents. At least you should have a place where you can put it, like for your teacher to watch over it. Welcome back to Gifted Radio. I am Sinach.
I am Annabel.
I am Gregory. Let's talk about rules that make you go home, like running
Running.
in the corridor.
Running on the corridors. I think that's a good rule, and also it can be very dangerous sometimes, but most of the time it's like bad in some schools. Like, say a little kid is walking on the school corridor and you're just running, they can accidentally trip and fall, and they can get bruises, injuries, and yeah.
What do you think? I think running the corridor is dangerous. It's like to say, example, an adult is talking with the headmistress, and two children are like playing on the corridor running. The children could hit the adult, and it could, cause some injuries, and the child could fall down, but the adult won't. Well, I think it's actually a good rule and also a bad rule, because running in the corridor is very bad because it can hurt people, as you said. And also, imagine if something happened and you need to run in the corridor for some reason. So that's why I think it could be really bad. Next,
Like the fire drill.
yeah, like the fire drill. I still wonder why some schools have rules like bracelets. I know some schools, they don't let children to wear bands, but they want them to wear rings. Imagine if you increase the size of the ring, then it would become a band.
Eventually, yes. But some schools also have a weird rule that only black band for a watch is allowed. Why no other colors? It can distract or do something bad to make you lose focus in schoolwork or so.
But what I think about the bands, it's like it's pretty much hard because sometimes it's hard for parents to find black bands.
Gregory.
What do you think, Gregory?
I think the whole bracelets, they don't make you lose knowledge or so. It's just an accessory that you wear around your hand. But some people catch it how it loses your focus and other people's focus.
How about hair in school? Some schools have the certain length of your hair, and some schools you can't put weaving in your hair. What do you think?
Some schools also let you do any hairstyles you want, because it's not a bother to knowledge and society, because it's just a hairstyle. It's not something to do bad or so.
What I think is that hairstyles don't really lose your focus. As long as you don't play with it, it doesn't do any harm with you. What do you think?
I agree with you. As long as you don't play with it, you don't lose focus with your classroom.
How about shoes? I know some schools, you can wear boots, but you can't wear shoes, or it's the opposite.
Yes, some can wear a certain color shoes, while some can just wear any color. And there's also with the socks. You can only for some schools, girls is only allowed to wear a certain color socks, while boys is otherwise.
For me, of course you must have a certain color socks you can wear, but at least you should have more than one.
Well, with the shoes, sometimes the shoes do distract you, because especially for colorful shoes, like for say example, early morning, you came with a new shoes that is colorful, and like you're going to keep playing with it, and the teacher is like going to complain to your parents.
Also, another thing about shoes is that people think, of course, you can wear shoes, but some of them are just outright. And some children bully other children because they don't have the kind of shoes that they have or the kind of bags that they have. And I think it's really bad.
And some is that people can't afford to buy like certain shoes to wear to go to school. They can't buy it. They don't know where to go, or they just can't afford to buy it. What about you?
Well, for say, like they do, like some parents can't afford to buy special colors.
Because it could be expensive.
Yes, very expensive.
Also about phones. And some schools don't allow phones in school. But I think personally, phones should be allowed, but they should have like certain limits for phones.
Yes, well, in my opinion, phones can be very useful, and it can also be a distraction because children can use the phones in school while school is being taught to them, and for otherwise they can use phones to call parents, teachers, or some person to come and help them if they have an emergency or something to deal with. And yeah,
Well, phones could be banned or not, but to me, phones, they would like have a limit for it, because some children would go early in the morning using their phone. They won't study, and it would be a distraction for their education. And the phones are helpful. For say example, the children fell and got injured, and they have a phone so they could call their parents.
Or their teacher. Also, I think phones, at least if you could have it in a classroom, at least you should have a place where you could put it, like for your teacher to watch over it. Because
like in the teacher's drawers.
yeah, at the end of the day, a phone can be useful and also harmful. Also, now it's time to move on to the game. So,
Thank you.
alright, the first one. Real or fake? Boys must keep hair short, girls must keep theirs neat. What does that even mean? 3, 2, 1. Fake.
Fake.
The reason why I think fake is because first of all, why do you think real before I give my explanation?
So in my school, the boys kind of like really use long hair, and the girls have to keep their hairs very neat.
Okay, I know that even though boys should be allowed to have different hair, but maybe even if you don't want them to have some different hairstyle, at least let them have long hair, but at least they should tie it up or something like that.
Yes.
And of course, the girls should keep their hair neat, but some people, let's say, they're in a rush and something. So I think even though it's not, keeping your hair neat is something that you're supposed to do, at least you should at least warn them or something like that.
Yeah, and in other schools, girls can do any hairstyles they want. No, they don't need to even do like one hairstyle. They can leave their hair loose, or they could keep it braided, or whatever they want to do. Okay, next question. Real or fake? You're not allowed to walk with an umbrella on the corridor. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Fake.
Fake.
Why do you think it's real?
I thought it was like just to say an example of how the umbrella is open. So that's why.
Why I think it's fake, it's because unless the crater doesn't have a roof, of course. But other than that, it's fake because opening an umbrella in a crater can also, for example, if you open the umbrella and you're walking and you're not looking where you're going, especially if it's in front of you, you can hurt somebody. So that's why I really think it's fake to have an umbrella open.
Well, in some other places and schools and so, teachers and no one minds if you have an umbrella just walking with it. It could either be closed or opened, because if it's open, that means you just arrived from home, now going to enter school, and just
Real or fake? No speaking Creolese.
Three, two, one. Fake.
fake.
Why did you think it was real, not to speak Creolese?
Well, in our class, we can't speak Creolese because our teacher, she would get upset for some apparent reason.
But I think some people in different countries or something like that, it's actually our first language, so we should be allowed to speak it. And also Creole, some people can't, they have these are something that they can't really speak this language like fluent English, right? So I think it's supposed to be allowed to speak Creolese, and you should be comfortable to feel how you speak. What do you think?
Well, some people may say that Creolese is not a language, but it actually is a language, and it's, as Sinach said, it's our first, well, it's some countries' first language. Not all people could speak standard English, and yeah.
Real or fake? No eating in class except when the teacher says so. 3, 2, 1. Fake.
Real. Okay, so
Alright, so I mean, unless they have time limits to eat, like break and lunch, but no eating in class except when the teacher says so. So for instance, if the teacher just says, for example, if she has to go out, right, and it's past lunch, and the teacher doesn't, because the teacher has to say when to go, so, and the children won't get to eat. So that's why I think it's fake.
well, yes, in some schools I've experienced that the teacher is gone and she then came back for lunch, and so they just take their lunch without permission, or they go and ask another teacher, disturbing the other class, if they can have their lunch, have our lunch or so. And yeah.
What do you
Well,
think?
I think yes, but I have never experienced that because I have 2 teachers. But my main teacher mostly goes out, but before she goes, she's dismissed us for lunch.
That's the end of the game. Now the challenge. Get loud in the comments about weird facts about school. Thank you.
Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe for more videos.
Next episode, stuff no one warned us about.